This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by Bozy Ennis here in Las Vegas. Bozy, how are you feeling?
I'm good. You, my brother?
I'm very well, thank you. It's good to see you again. Your man Stephen Fulton stood there.
Yes,
How excited are you to see him at featherweight now?
Well, I'm glad to see him back in action. You know what I mean? I think he's gonna put on a beautiful display this time. They're gonna see a little something different. You know what I mean? When you see him fight this time.
Since you've been working together, what have you been kind of looking to work on specifically with him?
What us? Steven? Oh, I mean not Steven. We call him Scooter. You know what I mean? He don't like that word cool boy stuff no more. He's back to his old self again. No, but we working on a lot of little stuff though. Mostly catching shots, coming back off the shots. You know what I mean? Mostly defense. You know what I mean? But because he already can fight, he already know what to do. You know what I mean?
He's been adamant he can get a stoppage victory on Saturday night. Is that kind of a team ethos? You want a statement in his first fight at featherweight?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He want to make a statement. You know what I mean? Show these people that he ain't nothing to play with. You know what I mean? He coming back full effect, man. You know what I mean? No stopping.
You mentioned this obviously being an eliminator for WBA title. Is it Saturday goes to plan and straight back in for a world title then?
Absolutely. That's what we plan on doing. Yep.
Bozy, also I've got you. Obviously going to be a lot of talk about your son. How's Jaron looking? What can you tell us about the latest in terms of a mandatory?
Well, I just heard that we supposed to be fighting in November the 9th. That's all I know, and we got to see what's on the table though. You know what I mean?
Do you think you still go ahead with the mandatories? Is there a chance that he vacates if a bigger fight becomes available?
Whatever the team, we got to get together. The team got to get together and decide what we're going to do. You know what I mean? When it comes to that kind of situation.
Is it frustrating because obviously he's already beaten his mandatory once in very convincing fashion?
And that's crazy though. You know what I mean? And they're trying to get us to go over. I guess go over Germany. You know what I mean? To fight over there. So we go over Germany and he do the same stuff. They're gonna wind up giving the fight to him. You know what I mean?
Obviously, we saw a lot of talk over social media. Eddie Hearn said to me that an offer was made to Mario Barrios. Don't know where that ended up, but a lot of talk about the Brian Norman Jr. fight, especially. What did you make of kind of a back and forth between the teams online? And were you surprised that Brian Norman didn't accept the offer?
I wasn't surprised. I think that was all hype, man. Yeah. I think all that he wanted to do was just get out there and be known. When I mean known, he got to be one of them guys that just want to be in the limelight. You know what I mean? My name is out there now. Yeah, his father used to box. You know what I mean? Now we got everybody talking about us now. Brian Norman Jr. You know what I mean? That's what he got off of Boots. Now, and when it comes down to it, he really didn't want to fight. Anytime you get offered that type of money and you turn that down, then you're gonna fight on the undercard of Keyshawn Davis, right? And you're not getting no 750,000. You know what I mean? You might get 300 something, and you complain about who you have to pay. You know what I mean? That's why you wanted $2 million and try to say Boots made $3 million. Boots didn't really make no $3 million. You know what I mean? And then we was gonna take a pay cut to fight him anyway. You know what I mean? But I ain't never say that. I'm saying it now though. Just to fight him. We trying to collect all the titles. You know what I mean? But they out there running their mouth saying they did this, did that, but they know what happened. Few people was in my gym and saw what happened. You know what I mean?
What can you tell us? I know you're going to say it was obviously very positive for you.
The thing about me, I don't like going around running my mouth talking about this and that. But since he ran his mouth, what happened? My son broke his son down after 3-4 rounds. When they came to the gym, we only supposed to do 4 rounds, right? 4 rounds from him, 4 rounds from another fighter, and 4 rounds from another fighter. That was 12 rounds, 4-minute round. So when he came down there, like I tell everybody the same story. Cameron Duncan was the one, my son's manager, and was his manager too. So I called Cameron up and said, Cameron, I need some work for Boots, right? And he said, okay, y'all got a few fighters, y'all can send down. And he said, I talked to Brian Norman. I said, yo, he's a good fighter. You know what I mean? Send him down. We need somebody like him, and them other 2 guys. And he said, I told him don't go down there acting crazy, though. Just what Cameron said, right? So when he came down there, and I told him, I said, listen, man, when he came to the gym, they was cool, nice. I said, listen, I need 4 rounds from your son, 4 rounds from him, and 4 rounds from him. Oh, we can do whatever, or one of them type deal. I said, oh, all I need is 4, though. All right, so we got in there. After 3-4 rounds, my son broke him down, broke Brian Norman down. And his father knew. You know what I mean? What happened? But he goes around lying, saying other stuff. Brian, at that time, Brian was like what, 20-0 with 19, 18 knockouts, whatever. I don't know what his record was, but he was, he had a nice little record. You know what I mean? And so after Boots did that, you know what I mean? They wanted to stop at the 5th round. No, let's do 6 now. You know what I mean? Tell me you could do whatever. You know what I mean? And he made it, but they had forced him to make it. You know what I mean?
The general consensus, Bozy, is Jaron is the number 1 at 147.
Right.
So I imagine it's been a frustrating time trying to get those unifications, but you said to me you want to collect all the belts before you consider moving up. Is there kind of a time frame on that? Let's say if you can't get those big fights at 147, yeah, there's some massive fights at 154.
We got to move up. You know what I mean? And whoever got the belts at 154, we got to move up.
Do you have a time frame as to kind of when you'd like to have accomplished that, and if it isn't accomplished, when it has to be considered?
And see, that's another thing that we got to discuss with the team. You know what I mean? I just can't come right out and say this. You know what I mean? Everybody got to be on the same, same line.
I'm going to ask you, there's one fight in particular which, your son went and watched Terence Crawford against Israel Madrimov. A lot of people speak about that fight. Yeah. Do you think we do ever see them cross paths at any point?
Well, Terence and Boots? Yeah. No, not right now. I don't think so. Though Terence trying to do what he's supposed to do, try to get the money and get on out. Terence had his time, and like he said, it's Boots' time now. You know what I mean? And that's not ducking. You know what I mean?
Well, listen, I appreciate your time, Bozy. I know the team seems to be wrapping up a little bit, so I don't want you to get left behind. Thank you, and I'll see you soon.
You're welcome. Appreciate you.